If you're struggling to remain consistent on social media and growing a platform as a children's book author, it is so overwhelming and it is so hard. Believe me, I get it. I've been there. It has taken me years to get to a point where I never run out of content ideas. So, in today's video, I'm going to go through 2 really easy things that you can do to never run out of content. And it doesn't matter what platform you post on either. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about Instagram because a lot of my subscribers and fellow author friends use Instagram, but you can apply these methods to any platform. And if you don't know me already, hi, my name is Harley, and I'm an award-winning self-published children's book author and illustrator. I've been doing this for years, and from my struggles, I have overcome and built a following, especially on Instagram and TikTok, and working on YouTube, as you can see. I am also helping my fellow authors to do the same. And I give away a lot of really good tidbits of information that I wish I had when I published my first book. So if this sounds good to you and you want to keep learning more from me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I understand how hard it is to come up with new, fresh content all the time. And I know it feels like, okay, I posted once and then I'm good for the next 2 days if you only post 3 days a week. And then it comes back to that day where you have to post and you're so overwhelmed and you don't have any clue what to post or if this post lines up with what your goals are. I get it. It's frustrating. I used to deal with the constant roadblocks and lack of ideas or just being like stumped. Like I felt like I would hit a wall when it's like, okay, I need to post something today. What do I post? It would just be crickets up here. Like I wouldn't have any ideas. But after years of doing this little thing called content creation, I've got a couple tricks up my sleeve now. And I post 5 to 7 times a week, if not more, on multiple platforms. So I'm really hoping that these 2 tips can help you out because content creation is like one last thing that we want to do as self-published children's book authors. Like we're trying to market our books, we're trying to sell our books, we're trying to make a living from our books. So the last thing we need is a lack of content. So here we go. The first thing that you can do, and it's really quite simple and it almost feels like cheating, is looking at other creators' posts. No, you are not going to copy exactly what they did, but you're going to take their posts as inspiration and twist it to make it yours. If you've ever heard of the book called Steal Like an Artist, it basically takes this concept and puts it into play for social media content creation. The book says that in the beginning, artists would steal from each other all the time because no ideas are completely original. And that has some validity to an extent. You'd have to read the book to really understand what the author is trying to say. But what the author is saying is like, no idea is completely original. And also, any artist that would steal from each other, they would just take their pieces as inspiration for their new pieces. So they wouldn't copy it outright. They would just make it their own based on this inspiration. So you're going to do the exact same thing for social media. And if you have a problem with this, you really don't need to do this. But it's also not stealing because you're not going to have the exact same style as somebody else. And they're not going to have the exact same style as you. That also comes with content creation. So just play around with it and like you don't need to take it word for word or, edit by edit. You don't need to do that. Just take it as inspiration and take it as like an idea. So how I do this is I go into Instagram, and this is where I'm going to be using this example. I go into Instagram and I go to my Reels tab. Then I scroll through the Reels tab and I see if there's a reel that somebody else made that I can tweak it to work for me and my profile. If I do find a post that I can use for my own profile, I will go ahead and I will save that post into a little collection that I call book post ideas. And I will also go ahead and save the audio so that way I can just add the audio into the reel really quickly. And also bonus points if this audio is trending. That really helps push out your reels if you're making reels in this instance. It helps to push out your reels even further just because it's trending. So use that post as inspiration. You don't need to go clip by clip perfectly in order exactly how they did that. That's not what I'm saying. And here's an example of like an idea that I found just scrolling on the Reels tab. This is the original post that I saw, and I thought, hey, I could turn this into a post for myself. So this is the post that I did based off of this post. Do you see how they're not exactly the same? Even though it has the same concept, it's still my content and this is still their content. That is the first method that you can do to never run out of content ideas. The second really simple thing that you can do is you can download my free Instagram content planner for authors. And I made this super simple. Like if this content creation thing is so overwhelming for you, I have laid it out step by step to make it less overwhelming and more doable so you can get on with your life. In this Instagram content planner, we go through step by step, like how many days do you want to post? Do you want to post 1 time a week, 5 times a week, 7 times a week, or just 3 times a week? And if you're starting out, I highly recommend just posting 3 times a week. Make it super easy on yourself and just make it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then the next question will be like, what kinds of posts do you want to post? So if you're really not that into creating reels like I am, you're not that comfortable on video or taking video yet, you should definitely try to make some reels. I promise it will really help accelerate the growth process for your Instagram. But if you're not comfortable with that and you just want to post like photos, carousels are performing very well as of right now. So definitely post carousels. Or if you just want to post like quotes or like static images, And then we go through and we check off like what promo days or holidays that are coming up in that month that you're planning out the content. So if you've got like a free book promo, write that down in the little planner. And then if there's like a holiday that relates to your book or like this is a holiday that means a lot to you, put that down in the planner and you can create content for those days. And then we go through like the 4 different pillars of the kinds of content that you can post. So that would be entertaining, educating, relatable content, and promotional content. And also in this handy dandy little content planner, I add in a ChatGPT prompt that will help you come up with social media posts. And no, this AI is not going to make the post for you. It's just going to come up with ideas. And I like to use it for idea generation because you can get so overwhelmed and you might as well just like streamline it. And also, it may come up with some ideas that you didn't even think about or you thought nobody would be interested in it. So try it out, see if it works for you. And once you have all that figured out, like you have ChatGPT giving you some prompts, giving you some ideas, or you go ahead and you come up with ideas yourself, or you use the first strategy that I talk about and going through other creators' posts and finding ideas that you like. And then you write down an idea in each of these 30 boxes. And once you have all those boxes filled out, you're going to go ahead and you are going to fill out the calendar that is provided in the planner. So this is just an example of a filled out calendar. The yellow means those are the dates that you're going to post. And then the numbers are the ideas that you wrote down in each numbered box. So that way you can always refer back to the content idea and then just go ahead and post it. And of course, there are plenty of other ways to come up with ideas, but these 2 ways have helped me never run out of ideas. Like I always have an idea for posting, even when I don't even schedule it out. Most of the time, I don't schedule out my content anymore because I just have so much going on with like my clients and my coaching calls. Like I don't have time to think about it. But because I've done it for so long, I know that I can always rely on one of these 2 methods to be able to post consistently. And I promise if you just try one of these methods out, it will help you become more consistent and help you grow your platform in the long run because you're able to post more. And if you're feeling like really overwhelmed and you don't know where to start and you want a more like tailor-made approach and strategy for your social media, you can go ahead and book a call with me. I do this very often. I have one-on-one coaching calls with clients that just need help learning how to post, or if their posts are even working, or if they need to tweak their posts, if their hashtags are relevant, or if like their bio needs optimizing. I can help you with that. Like I understand how hard it is to just try to even post once a day or 3 times a week. I get it, but I do this full time. This is what I do. This is what I love. And I would love to be able to help you out. So just go to my description and book a coaching call with me, and we can get this systemized and create a custom approach for you that is sustainable and has your long-term growth in mind. And if you want to do more of a deep dive on social media and posting and staying consistent, go ahead and watch this next video.